much. The chair will withhold questions at this time, and I'll go to our distinguished Vice Chairman, Dr. Burgess, for any questions he may have for the panel.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just for clarification, are there people being housed right now in Floyd Bennett Field?
Our understanding is there's about 500 there now. There's capacity for 2,000.
And you mentioned tents. Are these canvas tents?
Yeah, they're metal frames with canvas. These things are massive. When I saw the pictures and the video, I was shocked to see how big they actually are. There's 7 tents. There's a tent for intake and processing where they actually speed up the asylum process. They give people medical exams, vaccinations. Then you have a tent for a cafeteria where they get hot food, and then you've got a recreation tent with televisions and those sort of things. And then you've got 4 tents for housing. You've got portable toilet facilities. You've got a laundry service. That's another thing. The migrants get their laundry done for them on this facility. And you also, there's several portable generators there, a lot of noise and a lot of fossil fuels being burned to generate the power for this big operation that's taking place on this Park Service land.
Now, are there neighborhoods close by? Do people live?
Yeah,
in the
the
vicinity?
information we got is that about 1 million people a year recreate or visit this Park Service unit. And when we were there on the visit, we asked the question, so how do you address the safety concerns with families with children out here playing on this park, recreating on this park, and then you've got single adult males being housed? Is it going to be fenced in with security guards? No, they're free to come and go as they please. But and I actually mentioned to one of the folks about, so they could walk out of the migrant facility, walk down the street, and be mingling with the families recreating on the park. And the person said, "Oh, that's a hypothetical."
So, yeah, it is a hypothetical, however.
Yeah.
But there's nothing to prevent it from happening.
Absolutely nothing to prevent it from happening.
So let me ask you this. You mentioned the NEPA process. Is the committee in receipt of an environmental impact statement or environmental assessment that had been done for locating this facility in this place?
That was all waived within a matter of, my understanding was a week or less than 2 weeks, through the Council of Environmental Quality. The Biden administration waived everything with NEPA, the Endangered Species Act, NEPA. Ranking member talked about how the field was used during Hurricane Sandy, how it was used to stage people and equipment. But there's a difference. Hurricane Sandy was a declared national emergency, and the law provides for the president to waive environmental laws under declared national emergency. And I asked the question, has President Biden essentially declared his immigration policy a national emergency by waiving the environmental laws to build these migrant shelters on National Park Service land?
And what was the answer to your question?
They admitted they had waived the laws. They fast-tracked the permit.
Have they declared the emergency status?
They don't say that, but their actions show they have declared an emergency status.
Well, I actually wouldn't quibble with declaring an emergency over this. Figures I heard, in fact, over the weekend, since the Biden presidency began, there are 8 million people, both known and unknown, estimated 8 million people that have come in without the benefit of visas or social security numbers, non-citizens who've come into this country.
And the mayor of New York, Eric Adams, actually said this migrant crisis is going to, quote, ruin our city.
Well, 8 million people, just for context, that is the entire population of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, a rather densely populated part of my state. So basically, in 2.5 years' time, that population has been distributed somewhere within the border of the United States. And I actually don't disagree with Mayor Adams. I think it is a crisis in his community. I wish he had perhaps articulated that earlier, and it wasn't until Governor Abbott began helping people arrive at their final wished-for destination, and he realized he had to house all of these folks that are now showing up. But what he is dealing with is a mere fraction of what Texas, Arizona, New Mexico, and California are dealing with on a daily basis. Now, look, the ranking member mentioned comprehensive immigration reform. This is a problem of border security, not an immigration problem. It's a national security problem. 1986, there was an attempt with the Simpson-Mazzoli Act to say, well, we'll just legalize everyone who's here, and then, by golly, we'll do a good job from that day on and make sure our border is secure. But they didn't do it. It was just lip service to the fact that border security was going to be supplied. And I got to tell you, people I represent are sick of it. They don't believe, when they hear the phrase comprehensive immigration reform, they hear massive amnesty, and 8 million people in 2.5 years' time is the tangible evidence of that. Well, I appreciate what you're doing with the bill. I appreciate you bringing it to the Rules Committee today. I'll reserve any further questions, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Chair now recognizes the